Well, hey Taurus, how about a reading from your metal dog here? Let's find out what's happening with you as you transition from 2022 into 2023. I'm going to just give you a little advice on what to release, what to embrace, what you might want to look at again, what's hidden from you that the tarot wants you to know, and what may be ahead for you in the future. I'm going to start with the good tarot and just get an overall read on what this is about for Taurus today. All right, let's see here. The Magician. You get a card that's here to remind you that you have all the tools that you need to manifest the world that you want to live in. It can also be that you have some kind of a magician in your life. For some reason, this is coming into me like that, Taurus, that potentially there is somebody around you who has this kind of confidence that they can magically transform you, the world, your relationship. But that could be you as well. I don't entirely trust this energy. That's odd. I normally think of the Magician as a very positive card. So here we see underlying energy, a Nine of Earth, which is about self-sovereignty. Yeah, and so that seems much more your energy, Taurus. Earth being your element. And this Magician is somebody who might be in some way impinging upon your self-sovereignty. Wow. Okay, well, let's look at this. Let's see what's going on. Just a feeling that I have that comes in with this. You're fully capable of withstanding this energy. And you don't have to be afraid of it. You just know that you have the right to self-sovereignty here. Well, let's see. For Taurus, 2023, what to release, embrace, etc. So let's see, your release is the Queen of Inspiration. Now, she's the queen of the law of attraction. She's full of willpower, wands, fire energy. She's very sexy. So this could be your aspiration for yourself, to be her, like her, something like that. Perhaps you've been the sexy Queen of Inspiration or Queen of Wands. Fire is the element here. We will find out more. What you want to embrace. The Fool, a new beginning, a leap of faith. That's great. One thing that I'm thinking about lately is like the eyes closed here. There's a kind of, that can be like sleep, dreaming, can be connecting. But there's something, what I'm feeling here is there's something that's being ignored. Like she's unconscious, and this is, and I've just been watching his Dark Materials, and so like I'm thinking about how there's like the soul is an animal that they call them demons in that show, and there's a character in that show who's ignoring her soul. In fact, it's very unusual. She spends time very far from her soul, and she's mean to it. This one seems more neglected and ignored here. And then you're being told to embrace an adventure where you leap off the edge, trusting in the divine, getting a new start. Some people may think it looks crazy. They may be anxious for you. But this says embrace the beginning of this new journey, this fool's journey. As far as what you want to revisit, and the reason you want to revisit things is we're going to see Mercury going into retrograde. We also have Taurus in Taurus. Uranus is retrograde, and thirdly, Mars has been retrograde in Gemini and is about to turn around and start going forward. It visually looks as if the planet is going backwards in the sky through the zodiac, and from Earth it looks like they're going backwards. They're not, in fact, going backwards. It's just from our vantage point, and it will cause us to reflect on ground that we covered, and so that there's a lot of that. What's happening here is something very practical and substantial and earthy, a little message, a page of materials here. It's an interesting card. So if there was some kind of, could be a young person, could be a young part of yourself. There's like something about how you were seeing yourself reflected in a rose here. And roses make me think of love. There's almost something here, Taurus, about you being, there's some other person in your life here. They're quite powerful over you, and you're kind of looking at how you're seeing yourself through this person. Or maybe you've lost a little bit of your identity in that process. And you're being encouraged to know you're sovereign of yourself. Perhaps you're just at risk of losing who you are and reflecting the other, which is a very, it seems to be a very compelling other, this one. And as I think in general, like, so if you tend to be a person who focuses on others over much as a strategy for not paying attention to yourself and to your own journey, this kind of, and people can sometimes demand that kind of attention from you. You're being reminded to do you, to center yourself, and to go on your journey and to remember who you are. There's something that came up in the collective reading I did for everybody, remembering who you are. And so there's some of that here as well. What the tarot wants you to know, it's hidden from you. An 8 of materials, more earth energy. Pentacles are the pseudo-materials in this deck. And this is your work. This is a skill. It can be a new skill that you're learning. You have 8 arms here. And this shift, I mean, we can see these two. Actually, it's on the table like this. Yeah, it goes like this. So this one's looking. So we have all of these rose-headed people. There's a lot of commonality with your people. So there's this one. This is you. This is someone you're mirroring. This is somebody observing this, and they have skills. They're offering you a strategy here. And I can almost see by the way that her chin is crooked that she's actually maybe looking around towards this 8 of materials. It's work to do. But you get distracted from this work by this very distracting being who's quite alluring, another, or others in general. All right, the future. What is the future? The future is more earth energy, just steadily working along, planting your seeds, waiting for them to bear, well, in this case, roses. Kind of a slow energy here, Taurus. You are being taught you're being led on a journey that's about you and your self-sovereignty and away from very other captivating people or your habit. I feel like there's a habit you have, Taurus, of focusing on other people instead of on yourself. to have this teacher or a mentor or a sponsor, somebody who's showing you a new practice, a new discipline, and then we see you in the future working in that practice, working the earth. Earth is your element. You are the gardener of us. You are the one who knows about luxury as well. Yeah. And there is one card on the bottom, and that is a card of justice. So I never really understand the image here of this in this card. I think it's meant to make us think about compromise. I don't know. It makes me think of the wise man that suggested that two women fighting over a baby, that they cut the baby in two, and that the one who said no, let her have the baby, was the true mother of the baby. But here I see, so we see this woman, and this is making me think of this fool, this journey, right? This path that you're setting out on, really. So this is you walking this path, and it's like you're emerging in the process, your true self, perhaps emerging from a shadow self. But justice, it's like social justice, balance. So it's a strange justice to me. All right, well, let's clarify this, Taurus. What's going on here? I don't normally do this, but I need to. I don't normally clarify the cards at the top, but I'm going to. I'm going to clarify what's this magician about here. Let's just clarify that. Who's this magician? Magician. 5 of Wands. Chaos, competition, lots of willpower. Everybody has a good idea. No one's the leader. I tend to like the 5 of Wands. What else? What else we have here? The Knight of Wands. Lots of willpower. Lots of fiery energy here. It looks like it's a little confusing to be around. And then the King of Cups. Somebody who's emotionally intelligent, but who doesn't open up about their feelings, but they're a genuine heart. Yeah, so this magician is somebody who has a great deal of willpower. I definitely feel that. I think they're associated with this Queen of Inspiration. It could be you. Like, I mean, Taurus, you're very stubborn. And there's something about this manifesting, like, and being determined that the world will be made in an image that you have defined. So I see that stubbornness in these wands people. The magician, this Queen of Inspiration here, I think is. So there's like an exertion of will. There's a kind of fun battleground that's happening beneath the facade of this magician, who could be you. The King of Cups has a lot going on beneath the surface and doesn't talk about it. So there's all of this willpower and all this turmoil and struggle and chaos inside of you. And you're not talking about it. Or this magician, if it's not you, is not talking about it. They just seem to be listening to you. Or you're listening. You seem calm. You seem like this. The King of Cups, he knows how he feels, but he doesn't talk about how he feels because he's got responsibility for a whole kingdom. So he's a listener instead of one who talks of his feelings. Beneath that surface is this Knight of Wands riding into the fray of a 5 of Wands. It's pretty fun. It's like a creative process, but there's just like, it's a battleground. It's a battle of wills. And this magician, whether it's you or somebody else, is confident that they will prevail in this. They seem very certain of how clever they are. Okay, then we get this card of self-sovereignty. Here, let's go ahead and clarify that. Why not? Let's be different for Taurus. All right, let's get Taurus some info. Let's see, what's this 9 of Earth? 4 of Wands, more fire, more willpower. 8 of Swords and an Ace of Wands. Wow, so much willpower, so much fire here in your reading, Taurus. So the 4 of Wands it's community, it's soul connection, it's soulmate, it's a marriage, it's a party. It's a place, it's those amongst whom you can be yourself. And yet there's this 8 of Swords, this head trip that says I'm trapped. Right, so swords are your mind, and they're ideas that suggest you can't move out of here. And yet this is a very loose binding that you're in. You can take off the illusion of that this blindfold shows that you're looking, when you look inside of yourself, you feel trapped. Your mind says you're trapped, but you could easily walk out of here and unloose these ropes, and take the blindfold off of your eyes and look around, look at reality. When you look at reality, there's your willpower right there being handed towards you. So there's a lot, Taurus. You have sovereignty over yourself, over who you are. And if you take the blindfold off and look, you're being offered your own free will here. So even if this magician is somebody else, and they have a lot going on beneath the surface, they're listening to you, or if it's you who are putting on this facade of listening when you're in the midst of turmoil, there's a clear message here that if you're feeling trapped in this and conflicted, that is an illusion, and you can be yourself. You're accepted and loved for who you are, and you're given this Ace of Wands that says you're the agent. You have free will. So it's like this, like it's almost like a process that you're in, Taurus, where your will is so strong and you're so stubborn as a sign that it can be seen as a negative. It gets you trapped. And you're constantly kind of pretending that that's not going on beneath your surface. But there is a revision of how we can exert the will. And when we exert our will in a way that's in alignment with this divine support, there you will find freedom. And so this is how self-sovereignty gets revised from that of the magician to that of the 9 of Earth. The magician manipulates and overexerts his will, whereas the 9 of Earth, she knows her worth. She has made a beautiful home. It's very much often about your own home, your own domain. When you can align your will with the divine, and therein find yourself free to be yourself. So this is a simple adjustment, but it's a change from being this queen of inspiration, who is the queen of the law of attraction, and moving towards being like really a beginner, starting out on a new journey, unencumbered and very free. Let's see. Let's clarify these. Release the Queen of Inspiration, the Queen of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles, the slow poke, responsible knight. It's very earthy, Taurus energy. A student, got the plan. There's an ending to this way of going about things. The world, an ending and a beginning. So clear that you're learning some new skills here. And there is a 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Another 9, which is a solitary energy. Doesn't mean you're alone, but you're able to fulfill your wishes by yourself. The Queen of Inspiration, she is able to manifest the world that she wants, much like the magician. There's always something about the 9 of Cups this I can satisfy all my own needs, the smugness, the way he has his arms crossed, is often seen as gorging himself or being greedy and selfish, and therefore you need to like move out of that self-centered, self-sufficient. Yeah, that's what I see your change here, Taurus. Some kind of self-sufficiency, like thinking about it all, planning it all. I did see that Four of Pentacles when I was shuffling for you. It's okay. You're taking a leap of faith. This is very different. This is the self-sovereignty, the divine support that makes it safe for this Fool to leap off. So there's the Hierophant. This could be a mentor. I see this person here. This is what's hidden from you, that the tarot wants you to know, as a kind of mentor or teacher or guide. The Hierophant can also be about norms, structures, hierarchies, structural power, things culturally. Then we have the counterpart, but also the opposite, the High Priestess. She's free of structure. She works not in the 3D, but in the 5D, in the unknown, mysterious, and secretive energies out there instead of within the confines of norms and structure. So that to move from the Hierophant to the High Priestess is certainly a leap of faith, because you're doing something that's not normative. And we see that there is a quick energy of riding into the fray with a message of truth. The Knight of Swords, the sword represents the mind, the truth. It's a very fast energy, it can be angry. It's actually on the table writing backwards towards the Nine of Cups. It's as if you're going to have a revelation that puts an end to how you've been doing things in the past and allows you to walk forward freely like this one. But before you do that, you're going to reflect on how you've been doing things lately. And what I saw with this card is that there's something here about mirroring others and perhaps losing your identity in the process. So let's see if we can clarify that. So there's a change of perspective. You're going to be stuck here until you see things in a new way. You will be hanging out here, it's almost like the retrograde, like you're looking at it upside down and backwards. So it's going to allow you to see what you've been doing from a new direction. And then here's a Queen of Cups. She is like the King of Cups, very emotionally intelligent, but she's quite open about how she feels. So you've been looking at this I feel like this Queen of Cups might be somebody else. It's the rose in this image that is being mirrored by you. It's like so you're looking at her, emulating her, and then we get a Five of Pentacles. There was something that caused you to feel left out. Like you're outside of the church here. You're in poverty and lack. You're abandoned. So this is what you're reviewing. You're re-looking at something that happened with, there's somebody that you identify with the Queen of Cups. They're emotionally intelligent. They're quite open and honest. There may be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. There's something about how they are that you feel outside of, but then you would also emulate that in some way. So that's what you're reviewing. So let's see what's hidden from you. Maybe this is related. She seemed to be offering a methodology to get out of this feeling of aloneness in the face of somebody who can be quite capable of connecting. This Queen of Cups. I feel other people very big in your reading, Taurus. It's like there's a lot of other people here. I think at least 2, possibly 3 different individuals showing up in your reading with you. They're people that you focus on, people that guide you, that you look up to, but they're also people that perhaps you focus over much on. And that in that process of looking at them, you see yourself, but you tend to compare yourself to them in a negative light. And you would be wrong about that. Okay, so let's see. This is what's hidden. This is the Eight of Pentacles. It's a new skill. It's an art form. It could be your work. What else? The Tower. There's some kind of surprise here, a shock that you haven't seen yet, or that recently happened. It could be a good surprise or a bad surprise, but it is something that needed to come down because it wasn't working for you. And then we see the Queen of Swords. We get some clarity. She sees, oh, okay, this needs to go. She uses that sword to cut out what's bad for her. And she does it with, she can be seen as cold. But clarity is not cold, and the truth is not cold. It is a kindness to speak the truth. And you've had a Tower experience. Something dramatic happened, and it gave you clarity. And it's on the devil. This is your addiction, your codependence, your self-defeating thoughts. This idea, again, much like this Eight of Swords here, that you don't have sovereignty, that you're not free. This is contradicted above here with this Ace of Wands, right? The Nine of Earth. You are sovereign of yourself. You can exert your will in alignment with the divine. You are not trapped. You are an agent. The devil will tell you that you're trapped, that you can't, like you're chained. But as with the Eight of Swords, these chains are quite loose. You could simply slip them off. These could be your animal, violent desires that are harmful. It could be addiction, codependence, self-defeating thoughts. So this is what's hidden from you. There's actually this new skill that you're learning, and it appears to me that this is a teacher who's showing you how this is done. She will help you out of this. This is what you're reviewing. You're looking over a practice of losing yourself and others. So it could be like love addiction, just any kind of codependence. You're looking at that. It leaves you feeling like a martyr, abandoned, betrayed, and outside of things, lonely. And so this is being shocked. It's giving you clarity, and you must confront this. The devil's here. And this is, I feel you have a guide in this. And we see you going about this work here in the future. It's funny because on the bottom of the good tarot, I saw strength. This is the card that beats the devil. It's like it needs to come in for you, right? She's taming her violence, her animal nature, represented by the lion. She does it with love, with heart, with grace. So I've seen strength several times shuffling for you. And so I feel like this is what you're acquiring. To compete with the devil, you need strength. You need to have your best self. And the Page of Wands here, the Fool, these all suggest, the High Priestess, these all suggest that you are divinely supported and you can trust your intuition. You're going to have clarity on the devil here after some kind of a shock. So the future is the Seven of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. The most secure, stable. This is Taurus energy right here. King of Pentacles. Kings tend to be fixed signs like you, Taurus. Stubborn. That's why you're stubborn. Because you're fixed. Because I'm Scorpio. I'm Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. We finish stuff. We can get stuck. We can get obsessive. We can feel trapped. Until we finish, we're very thorough. It can take us a long time. So the King of Pentacles is that energy. And so when we get that fixity, we can see tarot readers associate the fixed signs with the kings. There's resistance, more fire. Seven of Wands. It could be read as integrity. You're not taking a bunch of other ideas, right? It's very different from here to go from this 5 of Wands to this 7 of Wands. You've taken command. You're defending yourself against all the other great ideas, all the other will powers that are being exerted against you. And you are victorious, a 6 of Wands. You're recognized and acknowledged for your success. So as the King of Pentacles, Taurus, we can see you finding the way to exert your will to achieve victory. But make no mistake, you need to exert your will here. And there's this one, kind of a simple card, but to say stay grounded and balanced. You can see this stormy seas back here as you grapple for some kind of balance, which reflects justice, right? Which is another way of speaking of balance, moderation, being able to hold. And this your guide, she's quite a great juggler. She can juggle 8. You're learning to juggle 2, and that's okay. That is okay. So Taurus, this is your message. This is a message about you finding yourself and your self-sovereignty within a lot of other energies that are competing for your attention and to tell you how to live your life. I'm not worried about you, Taurus, because you're so stubborn, but you do seem to have divine support as well as someone who's showing you how this can be done. You know, like the juggler who juggles 8 and you're learning to juggle 2. They're really showing you how to do something that you're really just beginning on. And you have a beginner's mind and you're full of faith. And in a way, what you're doing is it's causing you to look backwards, to reflect on your life. This guy's writing backwards on the table with the truth. You're getting that truth. We see this here with the clarity of the Queen of Swords. There is a tower, the devil. I mean, this isn't a small journey that you're embarking upon, Taurus, here as you go into 2023. It's a significant journey in your life story. You're beginning it. This I see on the table. Most of this journey lies ahead. To go forward, you have to get out of the victim mentality of the 5 of Pentacles. So we have a couple of 5s here. The 5 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles. 5s are passageways where you have the option. You're being invited to look away from the old way, the negative thinking, and towards the positive way. And if you reread this, here's 2 people who need help, and there is the stained glass window representing spiritual help inside, and all you have to do is go in there. But you have to change your perspective before you can do that. And you have to quit doing this. You have to quit mirroring others instead of looking at yourself, because you lose yourself in others, Taurus. So perhaps this is a journey that you're embarking on. Maybe this is a story you've already been through. Maybe it lies far ahead for you, Taurus. But it's the message for you from me, your Metal Dog Tarot channel for today. I hope you find this useful. Happy New Year.